Hey everyone. When you really think about it, the story of any company is, well, it's the story of its money, where it comes from and where it goes. Today, we're going to follow a single dollar on its two biggest adventures, the journey out the door and the journey right back in. So here's a question for you. How does a massive billion-dollar company buy something as tiny as a single paperclip? I mean, it sounds kind of silly, right? You just go to the store and buy it. But oh no, in the corporate world, it's a whole different ballgame. That one little paperclip kicks off this huge, super detailed process. And that question, it's our key to unlocking the entire world of corporate finance. Look, at the end of the day, it's super simple. Money in any business only moves in two directions: out to pay for all the stuff it needs, and in from selling all the stuff it makes. That's it. It's kind of like breathing, in and out. These two flows are literally the heartbeat of any company. All right, let's start with the first journey, money going out. How does a company actually spend its cash? We're talking everything from that one paperclip all the way up to a brand new factory. Well, there's a name for this whole process. It's called Procure to Pay, or as you'll often hear it, P2P for short. So what is Procure to Pay? The easiest way to think about it is like the company's official rulebook for spending any money at all. It's the entire A to Z journey, starting from the second someone in the company says, hey, we need to buy this thing, and it doesn't end until the very last step. The supplier gets paid. And hey, if you want a really easy way to remember what P2P is, just lock this phrase in your head: from buying to paying. That's it. It perfectly sums up the entire life cycle of any expense a company has. Now, this is not like you just going on a shopping spree with the company credit card. No way. It is a very, very structured dance. It all starts with someone identifying a need. Then they have to create a formal request. Once that's approved, a purchase order, you'll hear that called a PO, gets sent to the vendor. Then the goods arrive. And here's the really crucial part. The invoice that comes with it gets matched against the original PO and the delivery receipt. This is called a three-way match, and it's super important because it guarantees the company is only paying for exactly what it ordered and what it actually got. This whole process, it's the best defense against mistakes and even fraud. And believe me, it takes a whole team of people to make this happen. You've got the procurement or purchasing team. Their job is to hunt for the best deals. Then there's vendor management, who handles all the relationships with suppliers. And of course, the stars of the P2P show, the accounts payable team, or AP. They're basically the gatekeepers, making sure every dollar that leaves the company is supposed to. Okay, so that's how money leaves. Now for the other side of the coin. And honestly, this is the really exciting part. How does the money come in? This is the inbound journey, and it's called order to cash, or O2C. You can think of OTC as the company's revenue engine. It's what powers everything. It's the whole process. From the very beginning, when a customer says, yep, I'll take it, all the way to the very end when that customer's cash is sitting safely in the company's bank account. And just like we had for P2P, there's a super simple mantra for O2C. From selling to receiving money. That's the whole game right there. It's the journey of turning a sale into actual spendable cash. So this journey has its own roadmap too. It kicks off with managing the customer's order. Now, for bigger sales, the company's probably going to do a credit check to make sure the customer is good for the money. Then you fulfill the order, ship the product, deliver the service. After that, an invoice goes out. The payment gets collected and it's applied to the right account. And what happens if the payment's late? Well, that's when the collections team gets to work. And again, you've got a whole crew dedicated to this. The O2C team is 100% focused on bringing that money in the door. You've got the sales team out there making the deal in the first place. The billing team makes sure the invoice is correct and sent out on time. And then you have the really crucial accounts receivable team, or AR. Their entire job is to make sure the cash actually shows up. All right, so we followed the money out and we followed it back in. Now, to really get a grip on this, let's put P2P and O2C right next to each other and see how they compare. This table just lays it all out perfectly, doesn't it? On the P2P side, the purpose is buying. The cash flow is out. The department in charge is accounts payable, and their focus is on vendors. Now look at O2C. It's the complete mirror image. The purpose is selling, cash flow is in. The department is accounts receivable, and they're focused on customers. It's two sides of the exact same coin. So you might be thinking, okay, that's a lot of corporate jargon and process. And you're right. But here's why it matters. Understanding this stuff is absolutely key to understanding how a real business actually works, day in and day out. This is the direct link between what people do every day and whether the company survives in the long run. Yeah, these cycles are so much more than just ticking boxes and filing paperwork. They are the financial backbone of the entire company. A really efficient P2P process, that saves the company a ton of money and keeps its suppliers happy. And a really slick O2C process, that brings cash in the door faster, which is the fuel for growth. Getting these two things right, it's literally the difference between a healthy, growing business and one that's always just trying to keep its head above water.
At the end of the day, these two journeys are totally inseparable. You just can't have one without the other. Think about it. P2P makes sure the company has everything it needs to actually do its work. And O2C makes sure the company gets paid for the awesome value it creates. They work together, just like a heartbeat.
And that kind of brings us to a final question for you to think about. We followed the dollar on its entire round trip, out the door and right back in again. So which side of the coin sparks your interest more? Are you fascinated by the strategic art of spending money wisely? Or are you drawn to the crucial science of making sure that money comes home? There's no wrong answer. Both are absolutely essential, and every single successful company needs masters of both. Thanks for joining me on this journey.